Hey everyone, David MacDonald here from Vitality Fitness Calgary. You're tuning into another episode of Q&A Thursday, where you ask us your questions and we give you answers. This week we got a question from Andrew, and Andrew asked, will weights make me bulky? Or will weight training make me bulky? So, very good question. This is something we actually hear a lot, and it's a huge myth in the fitness industry. We usually hear this more from female clientele. A lot of the females that we train are afraid of gaining muscle. They're afraid of getting too bulky. They're afraid of their shirts fitting too tight around their arms. So we're going to dispel that fear. We're going to dispel that myth today, and we're going to get into why that myth is false and what the reality is behind that question. So, will weight training make me bulky? The answer to that is, it depends. Okay, so it depends on many things. It's going to be dependent on nutrition, okay? It's going to be dependent on your body type, and it's also going to be dependent on whether or not you are a male or female, and whether or not you're using certain supplements, okay? So we're going to get into all of these different factors and why they're important. So number one, we're going to start with nutrition. So if you are eating more calories than what you're burning, and you are doing weight training every single week, and you're doing weight training at the appropriate intensity and the appropriate frequency, then yes, weight training will make you bulky. Okay, when you eat more calories than you burn, your body has to store those calories somewhere. Okay, so if I had a jar and I put marbles in the jar and I filled the jar up, and I wanted to put more marbles in the jar, well, those marbles are not going to go in the jar. They're going to spill on the floor. There's going to be spillover. There's going to be extra marbles. So what happens is the marbles spill onto the floor. Your body works the same way. There's only so many calories that you need in a day to function, and that your body needs to maintain its weight. Any additional calories that you eat and that you consume are going to spill over. They're going to spill over in one of two ways. They're going to spill over into fat storage, stored energy, or they're going to spill over into muscle tissue or muscle gain. Okay, so that's where understanding that you have to eat more calories than what you burn in order to gain muscle in most cases. So if you are on a weight training plan where you're weight training frequently and consistently and with the right intensity, and you're continually making progress with that program, if you eat more calories than you're burning throughout the week, then yes, you will gain muscle. You will get bulky. Okay, so that's one thing to look at. The second thing is going to be your body type. Certain body types will build muscle quicker than others. So my body type is known as an ectomorph. So ectomorphs are usually taller, they're longer, they're skinnier, they have small joints, so wrists are small, ankles are small, knee joint is relatively small. So they have a slight frame. So someone who's an ectomorph is not going to build as much muscle and build it as quickly as someone who, say, is a mesomorph. So mesomorph are people who are naturally dense, they have a denser body type, they're shorter, they're stockier, they tend to have bigger joints, so bigger wrist joint, bigger knee joint, bigger ankle joints. And you can see that when you watch people, you can very much differentiate between body types. So mesomorph are more that shorter, stockier build. They tend to build muscle quicker. Okay, the other thing we got to look at is we have to look at whether or not you are taking additional supplements. Okay, so additional supplements, we're referring to things like creatine. We're also referring to things like you're taking growth hormone, testosterone. Hopefully you're not doing this, but steroids are also included with that. Okay, these things will actually aid and assist in building more muscle tissue. So that's another element that we have to look at. So for most people, if they are not taking these things, then gaining bulk and getting bulky and gaining muscle is going to be a very tough process, and it's going to be a very intentional process. There's specific steps you're going to have to take to do it naturally. So that's another element that we have to look at. And then we have to look at whether or not you're a man or a woman. So men naturally are going to gain muscle quicker and easier than women, and the main reason for that is because of hormones. So men have much more testosterone, they have much more growth hormone, they have much less estrogen, okay, they have much less progesterone. Well, men don't have any progesterone. So hormones are also a big factor between men and women. So women have to work extremely hard to build muscle, like extremely hard. It is very difficult for women to actually put on and build muscle tissue. Women will typically build muscle if they've never weight trained before, and if they're just working out and they're just starting out. The first 6 to 8 weeks is very common for people to gain muscle, and that's because weight training is a new stimulus on your body, and your body is adapting to that new stimulus by building some muscle. But that's not a consistent and indefinite process. Okay, that's very short term and very much within the first 6 to 8 weeks of weight training. After that, what's largely going to determine whether or not you build muscle is going to be your nutrition, how many calories you're taking in, and the type of weight training and the type of working out that you're doing. But nutrition is going to be the biggest determining factor of whether or not you're going to get bulky or gain bulk. Okay, and the reason why is because your body needs something to build muscle from. Your body just can't manufacture muscle out of anything. It has to take something, it has to take nutrients, it has to take vitamins, minerals from something to build that additional muscle or build that additional bulk. And that's going to come from food. That's going to come from nutrition. Nutrition are the building blocks that your body uses to recover, to repair, to gain additional muscle. So anytime that I hear the whole fear or concern of, well, I'm gaining muscle, I'm getting bulky, my shirts don't fit anymore, the first thing I always ask that person is, what does your nutrition look like? How many calories a day are you eating? Well, I don't know. Are you eating more calories than you're burning? Well, I don't know. Well, you need to start looking at that, because odds are, if you are gaining bulky, your clothes aren't fitting you, your shirts are tighter, your pants are tighter, then you're probably eating more calories than you're burning, so you're going to have to adjust your nutrition. The main reason why you use weight training to lose weight isn't because you want to gain a bunch of muscle. Sure, you want to gain a couple pounds of muscle, but you want to maintain the muscle that you have. And that's going to help to maintain the metabolism. Okay, that's going to help to build strength. Okay, that's also going to help to increase muscle tone. Okay, the reason why we want to weight train is so we can hang on to and maintain the muscle that we have, so that when we lose body fat, we have some nice definition. Nice definition in our arms, in our thighs, through our stomach. If you're a guy, through your chest, through your pecs, you're going to have that nice definition because you're doing something that is requiring your body to maintain that muscle tissue via weight training. So that's the reason you want to weight train if you're looking to lose weight. So I know this is a very long answer, but you guys got to remember that these questions don't have straightforward answers. Okay, there's many variables we need to look at, and with this weight training making me bulky scenario, you got to look at the big picture. There's not one direct thing that causes this over here. It's a multitude of factors that we need to look at. So great question, Andrew. Thanks for asking. It's a big myth. The big thing you got to remember, especially if you're a female, is it's very difficult for you to build muscle because you have much less testosterone and growth hormone than men do. And the second thing is nutrition. If you're eating less calories than what you're burning, it is going to be next to impossible for you to gain muscle. So thanks for the question. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. And like I said in the last video, if you have any questions that you want us to answer, you can send it into our Facebook page, you can reply to this video, or you can also email us at vitalityfitnesscalgary@gmail.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys again.